Guns are designed for a singular purpose, shooting. But I mean, ammo's expensive, heavy, and there's no honor in killing someone who can't even see your face. So what if you wanted to become a true badass who, instead of pulling the trigger, used their gun as a blunt instrument to spread carnage across the settled systems? That's why I'm asking the question, can you beat Starfield with only gun bashing? Here's the rules. I can only damage enemies with gun bashing. I can also not have any companions unless they are required for the story. And finally, the entire run is on normal difficulty. With all that said and done, let's begin. After being carted to the execution, getting ready for a veterans hall speech, starting my new mining job on Vectera, I get informed that most recruits don't even make it past the elevator, which sure sets the standard high. My first weapon is the cutter, which I test by helping some miners with their back problems. After playing a bit of Deep Rock Galactic, I try to kill myself by standing in the way of moving mining equipment, but it doesn't work because this game hates fun. I also find an artifact that insert acid trip joke here. Waking up, I create the man, the myth, the legend, Goshua Jam, who was jettisoned from a Legion spaceship, but survived because the vacuum of space inside him was colder than the vacuum of space around him. It did leave him with some pretty nasty solar burns though. For my background, I chose Bounty Hunter, mostly for boost pack training and piloting. I also chose the traits Introvert since I can't use companions, Raised Universal since Goshua is a devoutly religious man, and Wanted since Caesar still has a price on my head after 53 years. Some pirates attack our mining outpost, which is the perfect time to practice my pistol whipping skills. One positive is that gun bashing doesn't use O2, unlike Fallout where it uses AP, or Skyrim where it uses stamina. It can also be spammed over and over relatively quickly, and can stagger enemies pretty consistently. For some reason, Barrett just lets me have his ship, so I just take advantage of his generosity and fly off into the stars. But there is a mild holdup: space fighting. I can't exactly gun bash while trapped inside a flying metal coffin. Since I'm technically damaging the ships and not the enemies themselves, I'm just gonna say that space fighting is allowed. Taking out the local Crimson Fleet commander goes as follows. I head inside, bash a few fools, find some amp, jump up to the roof, pistol whip Broken into a crimson pulp, run back to my ship, and set off for New Atlantis. Nobody seems to mind me running around in pirate gear, so I just hold up the Pip-Boy Barrett got off Wish, enter the lodge, and head downstairs for a very special piece of equipment.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I have another locksmith challenge for you today.
Yup, I just got one of the best armor sets in the game at the very beginning. Thanks, Todd. Feels like the Dawnstar chest glitch all over again. I also level up and pick Wellness for more maximum health. Talking to Tuala gives us our next objective, Mars. I also leveled up a few times off camera, getting Medicine and Commerce. At the bar in Sidonia, I attempt to straighten up a shot glass that fell over, which for some reason gets me in trouble with security. Loading a save, I just talk to Jack and get Sarah to convince him for a discount. He tells us to go to Venus, and when I arrive, I run into some children of Adam that I have to sneak by. Oddly enough, this is the only time in the game where ship stealth is actually important. I then let Sarah have some fun with explosives and gun bash my way through the station. While I do use up plenty of my meds and it isn't easy, I managed to make it through and learn that the Vanguard is flying around Neptune. I also level up, picking Wellness again for more health. Using Space Vats, I can target the ship's engines and take out the thugs inside, grab the artifact, and one of the best random drops I could have gotten, a pistol that does double gun bash damage and has a chance for enemies to drop more meds on death. Joining the Space Boy Scouts levels me up, where I pick Stealth purely for the sneak meter, which was a standard feature in every other Bethesda game. My next mission is to go to the obligatory Firefly reference, no, not you Outer Worlds, and stop a bank heist, which I do by bashing in all the robbers that are too stupid to actually kill their hostages. Sam and I find out that the maps are in the possession of his asshole father, so we just go over to his house and yoink them. And then Sam talks about them right in front of his father. Good job. At the empty nest, I whack a convenient barrel to get the key, snag another artifact, and then get stopped by Shaw herself when I leave. I can only imagine the terror racing through their heads as I pick them off one by one, somehow absorbing all their bullets and not firing a single shot. I then return the artifact and level up wellness a third time. I then help the church by spreading the word to former members, which gets me some sweet credits in EXP. Oh, and speaking of credits, roll credits. Vladimir gives me some leads to a word wall, artifact, and I promptly ignore him to head back to the start. On Vectera, I help Lynn fix the computer which she couldn't do herself despite it taking a few seconds, and then check on Heller, where I learn of Barrett's location. No, not that Barrett.
Why would you do that, sweet flower girl?
It looked hurt.
Bashing a few pirates including Grimm, I rescue Barrett and level up, increasing commerce. I think now would be a good time to get a change of armor. I decide to take a quick pit stop at Discount Night City to sell some things, take a tropical vacation, and then finally arrive at a secret outpost where I can kick some ass. A good strategy is to be near an enemy while they're trying to reload. They'll usually gun bash you, or you'll stagger them with your gun bash, interrupting their reload and ensuring they can't fire at you. After inputting the most obvious password since the railroad in Fallout 4, I obtain the legendary Mantis armor. While it may make me look like a tool and it doesn't have very good defense, it makes up for it in sweet legendary effects. Oh yeah, and I got a sweet new ship. My next stop is an abandoned mine where I find trigger-happy Andrasia.
Stop! He's already dead!
We go forth, split open people's skulls like Kinder Surprise eggs, and find yet another artifact. And then I repeat the exact same process in a different abandoned mine, only with ecliptics. Yay! Variety. I also max out wellness. I then attempt to help Red Mile Security with a Dine and Dasher, which doesn't go well, and then decide to just run the Red Mile myself to see what all the hype is about. Long story short, some amp in my boost pack makes short work of the Scarlet Kilometer. Hell, the Gauntlet in Nuka World was harder than this. For my efforts, I'm rewarded with Brute Force, a unique shotgun that does double bashing damage. While it can't attack as fast as my pistol, it does significantly more damage and will be my signature weapon for the rest of the run. Before heading to the temple, I rank up medicine. I float around and do a puzzle for 3-year-olds, and I use the term puzzle lightly. Become Space Jesus, and obtain a new Starborn power. Anyway, time to do the quest with Volteron Neon. I commit a total party foul, talk to Boone, get one of the few damage boosts in the form of CBQX, and this is the part where my recording gets corrupted. Our next task is to steal an artifact from a collector's ship. But first, I engage in some Reddit-tiered flirting dialogue with Barrett that was obviously written by aliens with no concept of human relationships.
All we know is that they wanted that artifact badly.
As for the artifact, I just run in, whack the guy, and take it. It's that simple. At New Atlantis, I try to talk to some guards to clear my bounty, but they don't bother.
State your business. Speak. Speak. State your business. State your business. Speak.
Strange. I also pick up pain tolerance for less physical damage. Unfortunately, the Starborn attack my friends at the Eye and I have to go save them. Barrett says he's gonna barricade the door, and apparently he has super speed, since he does it the literal second I leave. All my friends seem to be okay, except for Barrett 50 Cal, who came down with a bad case of plot contrivitis. I find Noel, find Discount Mirac, and escape in an admittedly cool sequence where he goes around causing havoc. After Joshua preaches in his spiffy new outfit, learns the viewpoints of some other religions besides Mormonism, and finds out the coordinates of where we need to go, he reads some books, does a puzzle, and goes to the last star of the Scorpius constellation. To go where I need a ship with longer grav jump range. Since I could sell so much stuff throughout the game, getting one is trivial. Now it's time for one of the more interesting missions in the game, even if it's just a ripoff of Dishonored 2. I get sent to Dead Space Land, get sent back, and have to swap back and forth until I can shut down the experiment and grab the artifact. It's a long mission, just know it involved a lot of med packs, drugs, and gun bashing. I then get invited onto the Starborn ship for tea and crumpets, where I discover that the emissary is Barrett, and the hunter is Keeper Aquilus. After making one last run around the colonies for more med packs and drugs, I get a lecture from Bellathor.
Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
And run past a couple of robots to find another artifact. However, I get stopped by some Starborn on the way back, and to my credit, I take out a couple of them. I also side with the emissary, since if I sided with the hunter, I'd have to kill Keeper Aquilus. That doesn't seem like a very Joshua Jam thing to do. I then grav jump from system to system to get to my final destination, discovering interesting places along the way like...
I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
My ship gets attacked by the Starborn and I somehow manage to defeat them all with a sliver of health left. And then the game crashes. Great. So I do it all over again, and now it's Starborn bashing time.
We can't expect God to do all the work.
I also push Heller and off a cliff, beat up Vlad, beat up Petrov, and finally face my inner demons. Since they're using shotguns at long range, I don't really have to worry about them. Finally, it's time to deal with the hunter, who takes a really, really long time to kill. I end up using pretty much all my drugs and meds while fighting him, and I swear he heals to no end throughout the entire fight. After a long, grueling battle, I finally defeat the hunter and complete my collection. I enter my ship one last time, power up the grav drive, talk to myself, enter into a new universe, and beat Starfield with only gun bashing. In conclusion, while this run wasn't too difficult, it still certainly had its tough moments. Gun bashing has very poor range and damage, making encounters with groups of enemies especially problematic. There were also no good ways to improve my damage outside of certain weapon and armor effects and chems. At the same time, the armor I did get and the fact that I stocked up on meds every chance I got made most encounters fairly doable. The final boss definitely gave me the most trouble, and I almost ran out of meds fighting him. If you liked the video, consider liking, subscribing, or commenting below. If you didn't like the video, dislike it and tell me how I could improve. Suggestions for a new challenge run may be featured at the end of the next video, and if you're lucky, I may make a new video based on your idea. This is Causal Loop, signing off. Peace.